Welcome to the first episode of Woman, Your Story, Tales Across the Threshold. This is a space for women to feel seen, held and heard in their own unfolding. A place where stories become mirrors, where crossings become catalysts for change, and where wisdom is shared and remembered. Today I have the joy of sitting down with my friend Lisa Johnson. She's a somatic sex educator whose work invites women into deeper connection with themselves, their bodies, and their truth. Together we'll explore the thresholds that have shaped her life, the lessons she's learned along the way, and the wisdom she now shares with others. So welcome to Woman, Your Story, Tales Across the Threshold. Welcome, Lisa, to Woman, Your Story, Tales Across the Threshold. And my name is Mara, and this is my first podcast in this storytelling called Woman, Your Story. And I met Lisa with Avalon Darnesh, and we had a beautiful circle called the Feminine Visionary Leaders, I think it was called. And that's how we met. And I feel like that was like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I feel like we're doing a full circle and weaving that portal into this portal, into our offerings and who we are. And I am so excited that you said yes to this. Like, thank you so much for joining me on this storytelling. I don't even want to call it a podcast. I feel like we're storytelling. So let's find out a little bit more about you, Lisa, share a little bit of who you are, what work you're into, and we'll begin our sharing.
Lovely. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be doing this, especially with you. And it's still a full circle for us, which is important and special as well.
Yeah. I feel that as well.
So I'm a counsellor and somatic sexologist, and I'm weaving together the sexology and the counselling with my previous experience and delving into the women's mysteries. So a lot of my 4 seasons journey with Jane that we both have been on,
Both did
has been woven into my work as well. So I'm interested in women and their journey, their bodies, their pleasure, consent and boundaries, and knowing ourselves and having a conscious rites of passage is all these places that I'm weaving with my work.
Yeah, I love that.
And on a more personal note, yes. So I'm in Armidale, New South Wales. I'm in a small country town. And raising my 2 little, not so little, as we've mentioned, people here. So on the motherhood journey as well. Sorry?
How old are your kids?
12 and 16. So it's changing, but I'm still in the depths of parenting as well.
I love that. And so just going back, like the first question that popped into my mind as you were speaking is like, why do you feel like it's important for women to go through rites of passage and thresholds and do this particular work? Like, why would they come and see you? Why is it really important for women, especially moving through the midlife phase as well? Share your perspective on that.
Well, we're always moving through, aren't we? And we're always evolving and we're always in this state of change. But as women, we have several anchor points for ourselves. So we have, menstruation as an anchor point. We have birth and birthing our project as an anchor point, and then perimenopause and menopause as anchor points. So we have these ones, but so many other things that we're evolving and threading ourselves through. And we need community and other women to walk us through these things. It's not something we do alone. We look to people who have been through this, that have walked this path consciously and aware of their rites of passage. So my work is supporting people to know what they're moving through, to have an understanding of what's coming, and to be in it, to actually let themselves sink into the presence of being in it and the not knowing, like being in the unknown and sitting in the discomfort of that.
Yeah.
Um, it can be people will come because they're seeking this, they might feel somewhat broken or unsure of what's happening or feeling disembobulated.
Yeah. I love
And
that
they're
word.
coming to that, yeah. And they're coming to weave themselves back together again. Like, who am I now?
Mm,
How do I put these pieces back together? And a big part of my work is sexuality. And when we hit that midlife stage, and I'm 47, so I'm just sort of, I feel like a baby midlifer, but
yeah.
still in it.
Yeah.
Um, like who am I sexually? What is my body like now? What do I enjoy now? It's all
Mm,
changing, and we can't be the 20-year-old who would want to be the 20-year-old again.
yeah.
But we're not sure where we're going or who we're becoming. So that's where my work sits. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm,
And
mm,
so let's weave a little bit of your story in, like what brought you to all
mm,
this work and everything. And let's
mm,
share your life story. Like let's weave that into the
mhm.
conversation.
Yes. So I feel I probably start with the birth of my first child, which was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of a croaky voice.
Yeah.
16 years ago, and I really was a daughter of the patriarchy. I went along, I did everything that I was told. I handed over my body to somebody else who I thought knew better than I did, and trotted myself off to hospital and had an experience that really opened me up to what the system is and how people pleasing I was,
Mm,
and really living in a little box and didn't realize that I had choice and autonomy, and um, it blew me open. It really did. And my second birth was a home birth, and to birth in my own power, um, making my own choices for myself without the system. Um, it gave me a strength and an inner knowing and a self-awareness and a different identity. And from there, I feel like my life everything opened up for me from there.
mm.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Um, yeah, so I feel that was my first rite of passage, really significant one, was having my first child and having
Yeah.
my eyes opened. And then the second one was taking it back for myself.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So two really big, and I know that's many women's stories, is
It is.
births can be a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
one that is more conscious. It was probably my first conscious rite of passage.
Yeah. With this
Mm.
with both births, do you feel, or just the one, just the home birth?
Both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
really grateful for I went where I went with my first birth, although I probably wouldn't have chosen that journey for myself. It's one that I needed
Yeah.
to awaken and realize who I was and what I wanted, and that I had choice. Um,
Mm,
and the second one was beautiful. It
yeah.
was that beautiful home birth in the pool and surrounded by people I love and my own choices and things honored.
Yeah.
So yeah, that birth still stays with me as a point of, oh, I can do hard things, you know, really
Mm,
an anchoring point. And then um probably the year before I did the Four Seasons journey, or leading up to that, was another huge turning point where I was certainly in mother and I was pleasing everybody and doing everything else for everybody, um, and had lost my sense of self within that. And the decision to, even before I got to the Four Seasons journey, it was the decision to invest in myself, the decision that I wanted something more, but I didn't know what the more was, that that totally changed things for me. So,
yeah.
and that journey gave me a map of womanhood. Like, it
Yes.
gave me a map, um, and it's still trickling in. That knowledge and wisdom is still trickling in. I'm so very grateful for it. So that was a huge turning point. And at the end of my Four Seasons journey, I came home within 2 weeks and separated from my partner of 20 years. Like,
Right.
that was massive.
So how old were your children at that stage?
4 and 8 they
Right.
were, so
Okay.
little.
Yeah, okay.
Mm,
Big
they were
decision
little.
then.
Huge decision, huge
Yeah.
life-changing decision. And I wasn't sure where I was going with it. I just knew that what the old me wasn't something I wanted to be anymore. But I
Yeah.
didn't know where I was moving towards.
Mm.
That was a huge threshold, a huge step into the unknown,
Yes. Yeah.
um, and a descent. Like certainly it was a massive descent for me.
Yeah.
Mm. So in the underworld of that for a couple of years of sitting in that space of unknown and disorientation and having to sit with pain and grief and not the new version of myself appearing yet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
And so you move through the divorce, then you move through the divorce phase, and then
Hmm.
you would have had to move homes as well. Did you move homes or did you stay?
I stayed in our family home, so
Yeah.
that part was easeful for the children and I. So
Yeah.
yes, yes. But every other identity was stripped away. So much of who I thought I was and who I was
Mm.
going to be, because you're grieving who you thought you were going to be and how your life was going to unfold. You had this unconscious path mapped out.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I found too, like with the grief, like the
Mm-hmm.
grief is, yeah, of all like the dreams of the, like this future that you have in your mind of you're going to be with this
Mm-hmm.
partner forever and your happy family and all the things and you're going to,
Mm-hmm.
travel together or you have this life together and all the things and then it
Mm-hmm.
collapses. And
Yes.
so all the identities that were built around that then just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like,
Yes.
right, well, now what?
Yeah. And sitting in the now what took me 2 years of sitting in the
Yeah.
now. I'm so very grateful that I had that spaciousness though to sit in that and let myself dissolve. Like there was a dissolving of myself. There was a sitting on the floor crying, like
Yes.
most days for 6 months. And I had the space to do that. So
Yeah.
I feel very privileged that I got to go into this huge descent. I got to grieve fully for what was and what could have been before I could
Mm.
come back out and find threads of myself again.
Yeah.
Mm, new
Yeah.
threads. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
And so then from that space,
mhm,
then
mm,
what have you moved through since then?
mhm. So since then, I have been like studying a lot. So picking up lots of little threads of studies. So the first thing I did, maybe a year after my separation, was to join our feminine visionary leadership
Yeah.
group with Avalon. So it was me finding the community to hold myself within that time that was so important. It wasn't me being by myself trying to figure it all out, which
Yeah.
is what I did for the first year and probably couldn't come out yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
You
finding
needed
our
that
group and our
space.
community,
Yeah.
the connection, the weekly connection, to hear other people's stories who'd also been through something similar or other hardships and see yourself reflected in that was
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful. And just to connect regularly with women, it was such a gift
Mm.
to me. So I wasn't ready to launch into a business at the time. I was building myself. That was the project. That was the to look at my own patterning, to have a
Yeah.
little bit of self-awareness, to grow in different ways. And so after that, I studied counseling, which just opened up my sphere so much more. And then the somatic sexology, along with many other little courses. And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
somatic sexology, yeah, feels like it's my next threshold to come out in a way to this tiny little country community that I'm in, that I've grown up in. So
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
am. Mm,
And so, what are some of the identities you feel like you've let go of? Because
mm, yeah.
even understanding what an identity is and how we formulate ourselves around particular roles or characters, etc.
Mm,
And we can use archetypes as well, like we form ourselves around, an identity around the mother or the daughter or
mhm,
a friend or the
mhm,
wife, the partner, the person in a work environment, whatever your position
mhm.
is, for example. So what are some of
Yeah.
the identities that you feel like you've let go of
Mhm, mhm,
through all your life experiences so far and this journey that you're on, and what are some of the identities now that you're creating for yourself? Like who do you
Mm.
feel like you are becoming?
I feel like I was a pleaser. I was a good girl. I did the good girl things to make other people happy and to have and to be accepted within my society, within this country town.
Yeah.
I was a good wife and a good mum.
Mm,
And all of these roles, great, but I outgrew them.
yes.
I outgrew them, and I didn't want to live. I felt boxed in by them and made smaller. So to expand and step out of those roles was huge. And
Mm,
stepping out of like being a full-time mother and needing something else was a huge thing to go, oh, I need something else that's just for me, to step out of caring roles. Not that you can completely step out of caring roles, but to want something for myself that wasn't about caring for others, to step out of, as you said, mother
yeah.
and wife were huge things. To step out of being somebody's wife,
Yes.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the things that means. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All the parts that we play in that particular role, and how those roles, yeah, how they play out in,
Yes, and there's social cultural scripts that we're given, right? They're the
yes.
social cultural scripts. So I didn't even know I was playing a role in the script. I was just going along doing the next thing that I thought was expected of me to do
Yeah.
and doing it as well as I could.
Mm,
And I think I did that until probably the birth of my second child.
yeah. Okay.
And that's, as I said, things opened up. I realized I was working in a system, or I was getting worked by the system.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just describe some of the scripts that social constructs are embedded
Mm,
in women. Like, let's have that conversation so we can
mm,
kind of
mhm,
tease that apart so people can understand. Because
mhm,
often a lot of people don't even realize that they're in a script, in a collective narrative that
mhm,
shapes who we are and our reality
mhm,
and how we behave.
mhm,
We've done a lot of work, and we've worked with Jane and all the various things, but there's a lot of
mhm,
women out there that may not even understand that
mhm.
part. So what are some of the scripts do you feel describe the particular roles?
One of the scripts for me was being so busy that I had no time to self-reflect. And being
Mm,
busy was good. Having that tick of approval, running from one thing to the other, managing this, managing that. The context of my life was so full.
mm,
And doing things for other people, saying yes to organizing this event for school, saying yes to going to this thing, but just picking up other people's threads and carrying so much of other people
yeah,
um, that I had no time to reflect on myself and what I wanted. So
yeah.
that's it. Repeat the question again, Mara. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that, yeah, just like what are some of the scripts, like the collective narrative
The script.
scripts that
Yes.
are,
To
that
be
are
nice.
embedded in our
Yeah.
psyche?
hmm To be nice and be good and to please other people. Like to be boundaryless was a script that I'd learned.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. And what a wake-up call to understand where your yes and no are in your body and to listen to that.
yes, yeah,
And respond from that place, not I should or I don't want to be disapproved of or disappoint other people. So the pleasing script was really well trodden, and the just gender roles, like the gender roles were very, I grew up in a very gendered family where my father went to work and my mother cared for us and wasn't able to explore what she wanted for herself. There
yeah,
wasn't time and space or things to do that. So to step out of that and go, oh, I want to explore who I am. This
yeah,
is one juicy life I get to live. How do I want to live mine?
yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
And what do you feel is the impact? Like, what's the impact when we take on these particular roles and these scripts and behave in these particular ways? What's the overarching impact on everyone? I mean, both men and women, sorry, both women and men.
Hmm.
Yeah, like what's the impact on our bodies and our spirituality and our mental health and our hearts? What's your
Hmm.
experience of that?
Mm. It's that we live small and we live
Mm,
narrow. We don't dream big. We don't allow ourselves to dream big. We have a narrow path to follow, and we look around to make sure everybody else is doing the right thing as well, and we trot along on our narrow path. And it doesn't have to be big things to choose yourself, does it, Mara? Like
no,
it's the small things about you. We don't have to get divorced. We don't have to, we don't have to do these things. It's the small choices for ourselves. It's the
yeah,
embodied knowing of what do I want for me
yes,
and making space for it. So
yeah,
I think the negative is that there's no space for you to dream and to want and to desire and
yeah.
to find the joy within yourself and follow it. And
Mm,
I just said we have one life.
that's right. Yeah,
We get to choose
yeah,
how we live it. Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, having the death of Avalon, our dear sister and
Mm,
guide in the Feminine Visionary Leaders.
yeah.
Can't remember how old she was, but young, and to
Hmm.
see her life just go like that with her situation, again, it just that death portal just bang in your face makes you realize, yes, our life is so short, it's precious. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow,
Hmm.
and yeah, you start to value your life and the importance of it when you have these situations impact you.
Yes. Yes. And her death was a big wake up call for me too. I
Yeah.
think we were about the same age. Evelyn was about my age when she passed. So we don't
How old
know.
was that?
I'm 47. I believe she was 47.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Yes, when she passed. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's that. And also my mother died when she was 42, 43, and that's
Right.
had a big impact on just go live it, go do it, dare to dream big,
Yes.
fail, let yourself fail over and over and over and over again. Like failing is good. It means we tried.
Yeah.
We put our
Yeah.
effort into something. It means we get to learn from something and have another shot, follow another path. Mm.
Mm. So how old were you when your mum died? So that's another threshold, that another
It
big
is another
threshold that you went through.
huge threshold. I would have been 22.
Right. Wow.
Yes, yes, so young. Yes,
Mm.
and I got to see. My mother was very quite sick for years beforehand. Probably maybe I was 16 or 17.
Right.
Um, and I got to see how precious life is. Like she would
Yeah.
have her friends complaining about aging or getting old, and she's like, I wish I was getting old. I know that I'm not going to. I
Mm.
know this is terminal. There's no having grandchildren for me or that sort of thing. Like this is
Yeah.
precious what I've got. That lesson was really
Mm.
important. And to sit with death was really important for me and to be with the holding the beauty of dying and death and the preciousness of that and the grief and the pain and the unknown of that were beautiful lessons. And I had it early, so I feel quite, I wouldn't say lucky. No one's lucky for that, but there's a gift in it for me to hold on to that life is precious. We don't know how long. There are many people who aren't going to live as long, who would love to have opportunities and doors open for them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah. So that's the importance of like listening to that voice, that niggling voice. I mean, it could be soft, a whisper. It could also be
mhm.
very loud. You
Yeah.
may, the impact as well is like the body symptoms, like you start to, yeah, have that dis-ease and
Hmm.
the ill health, or
Hmm.
yeah, things going wrong that you start to question your life
Hmm.
and the importance of
Mm.
it, like the stresses is like this major impact on ourselves at so many
Hmm.
different levels.
Yeah.
And yeah, we start to need to address that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And it often starts with the disease, doesn't it? It's just
it
something
does.
small that
Yeah.
isn't quite right. And sometimes you can't put words to it, but there's a body feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your life story that you'd like to weave in that you feel is important?
Mm. Mm.
Before then we can weave in your work.
Mm. Mm.
How
What
are you
else would I like?
how are you approaching midlife with all this wisdom
Ah.
and that you have? And what's your journey like? We're always becoming and it's constantly
Mm.
changing, so it is a little bit of an unknown. And at the
Yes.
same time, with everything that you know,
Hmm.
how are you consciously entering midlife?
Mm. I feel very, very fortunate um to have done it will be a part of Jane Hardwick Collins's
Yeah, amazing.
body of work when I was 40. Like how lucky it was this prime time for me
Yeah.
to drink in this information, to have a map, to understand my terrain, to place myself somewhere on the wheel of life and know
Mm,
what's coming and where I've been, to hear other midlife women and older, their journey and their story and be informed by that. I feel like I'm better equipped to let go.
hmm.
And that's been huge. To let go of knowing, like, you know, when you're pregnant and you're not sure how long this is going to go on for, it feels like maybe forever. Like, I feel like I'm in that little portal right now. Like, how long will
Yeah.
this perimenopausal stage go for?
Yes.
Um, and the sleeplessness and the heat and the brain fog and I feel like I have quite mildish symptoms, but
Yeah.
how long?
Yeah.
And doing that work lets me sit in that's okay not to know. It's okay to feel unease about it too. And
Mm,
I feel grateful to be in the process.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it feels like I'm crossing that threshold into the next version of myself, and I feel like wisps of it coming, and that's really beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel an excitement of the next thing rather than being, am I going to be dried up and old and unattractive and lose my, I don't know, whatever it is we're told by society. I don't have those fears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I see in other women my age who are so concerned about how they look or how they appear, or I'm not
Mm,
feeling that. I'm feeling really um, like I can hold it with grace and some grief as well. Like both are welcome, grace
yeah.
and grief for what was and how I used to be to this in-between place that I'm in, and knowing that what's coming is also okay. It's another version of me.
Yeah.
Mm. And
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to the old version. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Ah,
want to be 20 and 30 anymore or in my 40s.
yeah.
Really. Mm.
And what a
Mm.
beautiful reframe. Like, I'm grateful that I'm moving into this phase and grateful for this experience and sitting in the
Mm.
void and feeling and moving through and noticing what I notice and
Mhm.
getting older and wiser and acknowledging all the parts that are changing. Like, what a
Yeah.
beautiful reframe rather
Mhm.
than, all of the other constructs that are out, like you said, in society and the
Mm.
scripts, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it brings ease into your
Mm.
body. It's like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
going into this consciously with ease and I'm allowing everything that
Yeah.
then you don't have this additional stress, this additional layer that you put
Mm.
upon yourself
Mm.
because of all the scripts and the conversations that are out there and the
Mhm.
fears and the belief
Yeah.
systems and patterns and the
Mm.
ways you've got to be and you've got to be younger and all the everything. I mean, there's just so
And the
much.
need to maintain what once was. Like there's a lot
Yes,
of women our age trying to maintain what once was.
yes,
And
yes.
gosh, that's a lot of effort when you could
Um,
be you could be putting it into something that makes you feel good and alive and wonderful. Like
yeah,
I don't have to be the sexual person I used to be. It's
yes,
gone. That woman's gone. I don't have to have the face and the body that I used to have. I don't have to have like relationally, everything's changing. And
yeah,
that's okay. That's a good thing.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's
about
so.
you? How are you moving through? Because you're on the other side, you're postmenopausal. Yeah.
Well, I've moved overseas.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on the other side, and yeah, for me, like I'm still, even though I stopped cycling when I was 48, I'm now 55, so that's
Mm,
7 years ago now. Still feel like I'm in a bit of a midlife portal in some
mm,
ways because I've moved overseas and I've left my children and my family and everything that I was doing in Australia to
mm,
really kind of come into my void, into my space and give myself that time.
mm.
Similar to
Yeah.
you, to like to move away from identities that were no longer in service to me, jobs that weren't in service to me. Like I loved them and I was still in service, like I was working in disability, but it
Mm,
just wasn't really my calling. Like working with women, this is my calling,
mm,
and
mhm.
this is what I'm passionate about, being in circle, working in the shamanic realms,
Yeah.
stepping again like an arm from the Jane Hardwick Collins work and the Four Seasons
Mhm.
journey and being a teacher for the
Mm,
school and so forth, or
yeah.
studying to be a teacher. Um, so yeah, I feel like I'm still unraveling myself. I'm
Yeah.
still unfolding and learning about myself and
Mm,
finding more of my voice, finding what brings me joy. And that's what I have been doing. Like leaving Australia is what was stressing me out. And now I
mm,
found my way to Italy, which is my second home country, and in
yeah.
Sardinia.
Mm,
And, I've got the beach 10 minutes down the road. So I go to the beach every day. I get to witness the sunrises or a sunset. I get to walk.
mm,
I'm eating well. I'm in my timeline. I eat when I want. The
mhm.
Italians eat at like 9 o'clock at night, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm cooking what I want, not needing to worry about what the family's doing or what the kids
Mm-hmm.
want. So I am feeling very selfish
Mm,
in this space here as
mm-hmm.
I continue to unravel. And then I'm
Yeah.
like I'm in the business threshold now. So really focusing on what my work is, speaking to it, showing up online, getting my
Mm-hmm.
website built, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And yeah, just really wanting to weave stories together and establish a community for women,
Mm-hmm.
because as we know through Jane's work, the Marga phase, this midlife menopause phase, I
Mm,
see it as a potent phase for a woman. And as we know, every phase of woman, from maiden, mother, Marga, crone, has their own innate power. But what I love
mm,
specifically about midlife women is that once they've moved through this threshold, they've got 50 or so years of wisdom. They've
mm,
stopped cycling. They
mm-hmm.
become unapologetically selfish, and
Yeah.
they still have energy to do whatever they want. If they want
Mm-hmm.
to be a solo traveler, or if they want to start a business, or if they just want to go do nature walks, or just sit on a porch and drink a cup of tea, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever they want to do, it's for
Yeah.
them. And that's a
Yes.
really powerful phase. And they're not the crone when they're kind of like really slowing down energetically. They still have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of energy. So there's a lot of power in this
Mm-hmm.
phase of woman that I feel.
Mm.
So,
And what I'm hearing is it's the time where your gifts are brought forward,
yes,
aren't they? The gifts of everything that you've experienced and done and journeyed with is coming together, and you can bring that forth in whatever way that's right for you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be a creative expression. It could be through ceramics or
Mm.
painting or singing or
Yeah.
like a line of work or
Mm.
community support, like maybe you become a volunteer in something, or maybe even bring a walking group together or something and you go and hike a mountain, like whatever
Mm.
all your
Mm-hmm.
interests are. And like you said, all your accumulated gifts they're
Mm.
distilled. That's what I feel like. Everything that I've learned and experienced and my thresholds and journeys are being distilled in this moment. And now I'm
Yeah.
sharing that with the world, and
Mm-hmm.
as you are too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I
And what
just,
a
that's why
wonderful
I'm
part to be
passionate to
in.
work with these women. What's that? Sorry.
I said, what a wonderful place to be in. If only more
Yeah.
people knew, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's not the decline, it's something else. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
but it's much slower as well. Like we know how to take care of
Mhm.
ourselves now. Like taking care of ourselves is important. We may
Yes.
change our diets. We do slow down. We do allow
Mhm.
the spaces in between, like that longer space, you know,
Yes.
and we
Yeah.
may have a bit more silence or sitting in the void, or we might go to a retreat or
Mhm.
whatever it is, you know, like there's more pauses. It's not like we're
Mhm.
having to rush to get somewhere. I feel like it's
Mhm.
a little bit slower because there's a sense of trust as well. Like because of all your
Yeah.
life experiences, there's a
Mhm.
sense of trust in life. And then
Yeah.
letting go has been massive as well.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
That trust part has really come in for me, to trust that there's a timing for things, to
Yes.
trust that if I don't know, then I need to sit in the don't know, and it doesn't last forever. It's only
Yes.
experience that tells you that, isn't it? The body knowing, trusting that your body actually knows and can guide you. Like, there's
Yes.
all of that. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I
Mm.
feel too is like what I'm understanding with all the thresholds, and again, just going back to Jane's work and doing the
Mm.
vision quest, for example, and all the lead up of the gatherings that it leads, you know, you have your full moon, also you have
Mm.
your opening full moon, dark moon, and then vision quest, and all those gatherings are leading you up to the vision quest, which is kind of like this metaphorical death rebirth portal that you
Mhm.
go into, and
Yes.
then you have integration, and then you have the celebration gathering.
Mm.
All those thresholds are preparing you, and our life, all the thresholds that we experience in our life are preparing you to then come
Mhm.
and meet yourself at the death threshold.
Yes.
You know, like if we're graced with coming into old age and
Mm.
we're on our deathbed,
Mhm.
how can we go in consciously into that portal and meet
Yeah.
ourselves through that
Mhm.
threshold of dying and letting go and
Mhm.
whatever that next phase is, you know, whatever that next evolution of death is. And so I feel like the more that we can consciously bring our awareness to what's arising in ourselves and our thresholds, that is like building this muscle, this understanding of ourselves and
Mhm.
love and graciousness and even beauty into our death portal. Like what's your understanding? Like, do you feel that's similar, or is
Mhm.
it different? How do you feel about that?
I do a practice where I imagine being on my deathbed and looking back at my life and
Mm.
examining it, and I want to feel like I dared to live. That's
That
that
brings
feeling.
tears. Yeah.
I want to know that I dared to live, because in my mother line there were many, and probably most women our age, our mothers didn't get to dare to live in the way that weren't given these opportunities.
Yes.
Do you know? So I want to dare to live. I want to do the things that feel scary. I want to live on my edge. Like, how amazing! Like, taking this trip to Italy must have been the edge, and you jumped and you did it, and now there you are. Like,
Yeah.
I want to, when I'm surrounded by my family and I'm passing away, I want them to know that I lived.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
lived as
And what
joyously as I could and felt the depths of life. Like, it's not all joy, but it's I want to feel the depths, I want to feel the highs, I want to feel everything in between. And when opportunities come my way, I want to grasp them and say yes. So that's where my sex bod training came in. Like, it was my edge. Like, how can I'm a nice country girl. How can I, right? I'm like, I want to. I feel it in me. I feel drawn to it. And there
Yeah.
were threads of sexuality work, like right from my teens. So this was something I wanted to do for myself, and it felt really daring. And I'm so
Mm.
glad that I
Yeah.
grabbed this opportunity, and it's opened up uh, a pathway into work and into a way of being and supporting other women in my community to move in confidence and to
Mm.
understand their bodies and their pleasure, and not to feel broken and like they're missing out on something but they're not sure what, or
Yes.
it's, yeah, it's really important work to me.
Mm. that's a really great segue now to talk about your work, and we can talk about
Mm.
women and midlife, etc., and health a little bit as well. But before we
Mm.
go into that, I just want to say that, like us moving through our thresholds and stepping through and taking life by the horns and just like going for it, just what
Mhm.
beautiful patterning we are creating for our children. Like to
Mhm.
witness their mums,
Mhm.
moving through thresholds or moving through life and
Mhm.
claiming for yourself what you want and deeply listening and moving through
Mhm.
your cycles and
Yeah.
just all those things, doing things different to how we've been programmed, like
Mhm.
how amazing that is for our children to witness so that then
Yeah.
they can learn to be unapologetically selfish and to listen to their
Mm.
intuition and do
Mhm.
what they want and do things differently to the construct of education and the
Mhm.
paradigm and so forth. And so I just wanted
Yeah.
to weave that piece in as well.
Mhm.
Like what we're
Yeah.
doing is impacting
It's
our
impacting.
children,
Mhm.
our communities, our families, etc.
Mm. And our children's children and our children's children will be impacted by perhaps we're the first generation that got to make choice, as
Yes.
we mentioned. So how amazing to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
trailblazing this. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, let's start weaving some of your work in
Mm.
and yeah,
Sure.
where should we go with that? Like what do you
Mm.
feel would be
Mhm.
helpful? What are some of the thresholds that women come in with?
Mm. Women often come to see me because that there's something small in them that feels unseen, unmet, unknown. So mostly people are coming to me about sexuality and pleasure and bodies and body confidence. So that's the main reason people are coming. And underneath those things, there can be like, and it's a lot of midlife. That midlife is where I sit
Okay, great. Yes.
presently. So
Yeah,
that's
that's the
that's the
focus of
core of what I'm
women.
doing.
Yeah,
Yes, on
yeah.
women hitting this midlife threshold, and whatever was working before isn't now, and
Mm,
whatever's their bodies are changing, so sexuality is changing, their libido might be different, arousal patterns might have changed, the way they interact with their partner doesn't work anymore.
yeah,
And maybe what they've experienced, they haven't experienced a great deal. And they're like, I know there's more for me out
yes.
there. What could it be? Like, I want to explore this part. I haven't had the opportunity. I've been deep in mothering and working and doing obviously, and there's a little opening for me again. And I want to explore what's possible for myself. Or I want to know how my body works. I want to understand my anatomy. Like so many women, we can't even see our anatomy, so we don't, as men, then they can see everything, it's out front. We
Yes.
don't even know what our anatomy looks like or how it functions. And it's a huge
Mm,
thing. Sometimes we just start there is understanding how our body works, it's
yeah, yeah,
understanding how arousal patterns change in midlife.
yes.
We might have had spontaneous desire, not everybody, but often that changes into responsive. So
Mm-hmm.
we need something to respond to. So so many reasons people come to see me,
Yeah,
but like women, that might be some of the core issues. I
yeah.
also see people for scar remediation, so people who have scar tissue
Right.
from birth. So we look at
Yeah.
scar tissue and how to support the softening of scar tissue, look at
Mm,
pain and discomfort in intimacy, and consent and boundaries, and finding your yes and no in your body, and finding and exploring what you like now.
yes.
Like that's a
Yeah.
journey. What do I like now? Often we don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we don't know, then our partners, they're definitely not going to know.
Yeah.
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 So it's a gentle and it's a tender space to be in, to,
Mm,
the courage it takes for women to come and book an appointment and talk about what's happening for them. It's really
yes.
precious. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sexuality is such a big thing. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and how you explored sexuality, pre midlife and then maybe some things weren't working even back then, but you kind of put
Mm,
up with, or you just kind of operated in a particular way, or
mhm,
you were only limited with what you knew because it's such a taboo subject. And then you come to
mm.
midlife, and then it's just like, oh, I can't keep doing this way, or
Well, the
performing, or
estrogen, yeah, the estrogen veil's lifted, right? When
yes,
where we have performed, we have done what we think is going to please somebody else, or we're in our heads a lot,
yes,
um, doing what we think is going to make somebody else happy, or doing what we think we should do. And
yes.
when that estrogen lifts and you're like, fuck it, I don't want to do those things anymore. I'm not into pleasing other people. What about me? What do I want? What do I like? It's
Yeah.
a huge turning point for women.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
And
yeah.
then we spoke to a little bit about, and you've just mentioned it here as well, like all
Mm-hmm.
our parts are internally, so we don't get to fully see
Mm-hmm.
all our parts of how our body functions and so on. Like for me personally, because I mentioned to you that I've got a prolapsed bladder, which I haven't actually.
Mm-hmm.
This is like probably the first time I'm announcing it in public.
Yes.
Um, but what that is bringing me to, even like being here in Sardinia in this quiet time, is like, right, I'm going to start exploring, like, what is this prolapse doing? Like, where is it sitting? And I've actually gone
Mm,
internally to start exploring. And then I've like
mm,
noticed some lumps and bumps, but I've
mm-hmm.
got nothing to compare it to, um,
Yes.
because I didn't do any exploration beforehand, so I don't even know if those lumps
Mm,
and bumps are normal, whether they're not
mm-hmm.
normal. Like I've got no idea. And then
Mm,
to feel the prolapse at the front as well,
yes.
and how to work with that. And
Mm, mm-hmm.
that then got my mind thinking of like, wow, like how many women go and explore their bodies and be intimate
Mm-hmm.
with their breasts, and intimate, even massaging
Mm,
their stomach and their womb, and then going internally and feeling all the lumps and bumps. Even like
mm,
my sister, she knows all the spots, like all her moles and everything. I've never been a mole
mm.
checker. Whereas my
Yes.
sister's, like, she's been quite diligent with that. So even something
Mm-hmm.
like that, of like all our body
Mm,
parts, where are we
mm-hmm.
exploring that and becoming intimate and knowledgeable about our own bodies? Like
Mm,
we tend to leave it to our partners, and mainly our doctors, or
yes.
yeah. So what's your take on that?
To explore your body and be with your body, there's layers of shame that have to be worked through, because that's why
Right.
we don't, right? Like there's layers of so many layers of shame. Like if we were touching ourselves when we were little girls, we were frowned upon, or all of that.
Yes, so true.
The way we expressed ourselves, the way we danced when we were children, maybe that was frowned upon because that wasn't appropriate. There's so many layers of things that we've been taught, and things that have been frowned upon, and being intimate with your own body certainly wasn't something that was encouraged in my family. It wasn't even spoken about. Like we had nicknames for genitals. Like it took me quite some time to know what a vulva was and what a vagina was. That was not spoken about. Like I had to
Yes.
find that out for myself. So um it's it's really reasonable not to, and common not to have a relationship with our own bodies because we've been taught
Yeah.
not to. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's lifting some of those stories and the cultural and society stories, and
Mm,
really taking really tiny steps to get to know ourselves
yeah.
again, and to feel safe in doing that. We need our nervous system to be quite regulated to be able to notice and slow down and breathe with being with ourselves. So it's
Mm.
little steps to.
What would be like one little step that you could recommend that women
Mhm,
could take that would, start to establish some safety, like something that's like
mhm,
tiny that
mm,
would be helpful?
mhm. I find a practice that I do just to come back into my body is I sit outside on my front steps before my children wake up early in the morning, and I breathe in and I let my breath fill my chest, and just breathe slowly and bring awareness to that. And then I breathe into my genitals and I bring
Mm,
awareness to my genitals, like that. I have I have genitals, I have a vulva, I have like lips and a perineum and a clitoris there. Like, what can I feel? What can I notice there? And I let my
Yes.
breath down. And this practice, really gentle. Sometimes I don't feel anything. Sometimes there's just numbness and nothingness. I'm like, okay, that's what's there today.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can feel my breath coming in and out of my vagina and how beautiful that feels. And it's having a practice to come back to. So you might practice holding a hand on your heart and holding your genitals and breathing.
Yeah.
And that might be your practice. We need to go so slow with
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
You might do that for 30 seconds, and that might be enough. Like you listen to your body, and it might say that's enough.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's slow practices, and having a consistent practice is really important, just like exercise or
Yeah.
anything that
Building.
you want to,
Yeah.
building those neural pathways
Yes.
slowly by practicing constantly. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
And I feel it's like even just starting slow, and because like I got to a prolapse bladder to then like, oh, I'm going to start exploring my body, you know. So
Mm.
I, in an ideal world, quotation marks, it would be
Mm.
great to, you know, start exploring your body and doing what you've just suggested, doing this beautiful practice to start exploring your body to as a prevention, like not wait for something, you know, lumps and
Mhm.
bumps or pain or
Mhm.
discharge or like
Mhm.
whatever your body decides to produce.
Yes.
If we can prevent all of that from happening by being intimate and being
Mhm.
aware and being intimate with
Mhm.
ourselves,
Mhm.
will certainly
And
help that
knowing
particular journey.
what's normal for you. Like this
Yes,
is what's
exactly.
normal for me. And if something falls outside of your normal, to be able to go to someone and speak about what you're experiencing and where, like how important is that? Like often women will go to the doctor and say something down there doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
That's not really enough information. Like
yeah,
if we're knowledgeable about our bodies and have touched and explored and noticed differences and changes, then we have a language to speak about our bodies. And it's so
yes.
important to build a language.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah, absolutely. Because I
Yeah.
guess too, what I'm hearing in that as well is that if you've got a language, then you can, if you need testing done, like whatever the, if you need to have a doctor, like some medical intervention or
Mm.
tests, etc., then you can get the
Yeah.
right test. Otherwise,
Yes.
you might end up going through a whole plethora of unnecessary
Mm.
intervention
Mm.
just to find the cause. But if you can
Yeah.
say, well, this is what's going on for me, and then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and have one
Mm-hmm.
test or maybe two tests, and that's going to minimize the stress in the
Mm-hmm.
medical system that
Mm.
you're, you know, that you might
Yeah.
experience.
And a large part of my work is learning about your bodily consent. So what does my body consent to? When I go to the doctor, what do I consent to and what do I not consent to? And being
Yes,
led by your body. Or if you're with a partner, you need language to describe what you like. You need language to describe how your body works
yeah,
and what feels good for you and what doesn't. And
yeah,
those are really important things. Yeah. But they're
yeah,
not, we aren't born knowing it. Like
yes,
people, like we think we should know how
yeah,
our bodies work and expect our partners to understand as well. It's not, it's a learnt skill. It's
yes,
something we learn and something we practice and something we get to be clunky with and fumble with and make mistakes and laugh about. And
yeah,
it's a tender thing to to explore your body and share that with somebody else, what you've learned, what works and what doesn't. And especially in midlife, how that's changing
yeah,
because often what work doesn't now.
yes,
And then you're like, well, where am I? What's happening? I want to go back to this thing that worked and felt good. But we have to evolve. Our story's evolving. Our body's changing and evolving. So we need to support that.
yeah.
And yeah, yeah.
And educating our partners too, because we may have a partner who doesn't know anything about midlife either, um,
Mm-hmm.
and what we're experiencing. So I feel like, you know, communication is really important. Being able to express our needs, being, you know, being held and heard and loved, but even for our partners, you know, like that mutual communication of like, well, what's going on for you if it's like a male partner,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on for you in your midlife, you know, like no, they're not going through menopause, and this, similar to what women are going through, but they're going through their own threshold and their own life changes. So communication, I
Mm-hmm.
feel, is really important, and being able to express what's arising and being met
Hmm.
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really huge as well.
And it's such a point that men are sort of often overlooked at this point, but
Mm,
they're feeling uncertain as well, and their bodies and how their bodies function is changing as well.
yes.
And yeah, they're in it with us. They're
Yeah,
changing as
yeah,
well. They're evolving as well. They have the doubts and the who am I now if my body doesn't work like this, or what if my partner doesn't want me the same way that they did? What does it mean about me? There's lots to explore there, isn't there?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Mm. Mm.
Ah, mm.
Mm. Mm.
Is there anything else that we feel we need to weave into the
Mm.
story, into the story
Mhm.
here?
Um, I think something I'd like to speak to is that pleasure is healing.
Mm,
Pleasure is healing. Moving towards pleasure supports us to heal and grow and be curious. And, what a beautiful gift that we have that we were born into bodies,
yeah,
you know, and and it doesn't have to be sexual pleasure, but
yeah.
just
Like, do you want to unravel what, how you
mm,
define pleasure? Like what? Yeah, some of.
it's feeling good in your body. That's just it's just that it's feeling good in your body, and we all have different ways to feel good in our body. And little children know how to access this. They dance and they laugh and they roll around and they play and they
Mm,
find things that feel yummy in their bodies. And as adults, we have this opportunity to expand that and find what feels good. It might be sitting in the sunshine and really being present with the sun hitting your skin. It might be enjoying your shower, like have a conscious shower. How
yeah,
beautiful, you know? uh, there's so much available to us. And
yeah,
I work in sexuality, but often we start with what do I enjoy? What
yeah,
feels good for me? And it can be dancing, it can be singing, it can be, yeah, so many things. But pleasure is our birthright, isn't it?
yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And it gets lost in the busyness of our lives. It gets lost and placed somewhere else to do later
Yes,
when I have more time or more energy or, you know, but
yeah, yeah. It's always kind of like these little spurts of, oh, now I've got time for me. Now I'm
mm-hmm.
gonna, yeah, now
Yeah.
I'm going to take a bath, or
Mm.
now I'm gonna have a cup of tea after I've looked after everybody else and everyone's
Mm.
sorted and everyone's now being fed
Mhm.
and got the
Yeah.
pajamas on and whatever. I was like, oh, now I can have a cup of tea, and then it's like, oh, now I've got to
Mm.
go to bed, and then repeat and
Mhm.
recycle. It's like,
Yeah.
ah,
Yes. And the other point that perhaps I'd like to make is that our sexuality doesn't decline as we age. That's a myth
mm,
that we have been fed. It doesn't decline as we age. We make a choice to be sexual beings as we age, whatever sexual being, whatever that means to you, but it's a choice, and we can have ecstatic, beautiful experiences rather than having an experience where we're pleasing somebody else or we're heading towards a goal or a place to be. In midlife and beyond, we can expand outwards in our pleasure.
mm,
And beautiful, amazing things are available to us. And I'm feeling really lucky that I have mentors and teachers that are much older than me that are talking about this deliciousness that is available as we age, as we become more discerning about what we want and what
yes,
brings us joy and what brings us pleasure and able to speak about it, that amazing things are ahead for us. And I love that.
mm. So can we just
Mm.
explore that a little bit? Like, what does the
Mm.
expansion look like for as an example? And what are some reframes that we can put into this video? So
Mm.
women listening, it's like, oh, I've got a reframe now. I've got a different map that
Mhm.
I can now explore rather
Mm.
than this old, outdated map that's telling
Mhm.
me or that I've told myself. So
Mm.
yeah, let's explore that just a
I
little
can
bit.
share a little bit of my own experience is that for me, sex meant penis and vagina sex. That's what sex meant. And
Yep,
then generally, I'm heterosexual, so generally the man comes and then we're done. That
yep.
was that was the story for a very, very long time.
Mm,
And as I've hit my 40s, I'm like, that I'm not on board with that story anymore.
Yeah.
I want something more expansive. I know that, you know, orgasm isn't my goal anymore. It's orgasmicity. And that delivers, that can be, so dimensional. And so we're looking at what gives me joy and what gives me pleasure, and can I follow that without a goal, without somebody like trying to please somebody else, and being in it. Like, can we be present with it, like stretching our ability to be present? It's really hard to be present in experiences. Like, we're often back in our heads, like
Yeah.
constantly thinking, how
Thinking.
long can
Yeah.
I be present with my own pleasure without a
Mm.
goal, without pleasing someone, without. And I think that's a really beautiful place to start, that
That exploration.
exploration.
Yeah.
And finding a somatic sexologist allows you to have someone guide you through it. That's pretty,
Mm.
another person who has a toolkit that you can access. Yeah, and
Yeah.
explore what's right for you, because there's no one blueprint for us
Yeah.
all. We all have our own. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
definitely. Because it's helping
mhm.
women explore the possibilities, like
Yes.
opening up the consciousness to
Hmm.
explore the dynamics and understanding
Hmm.
what don't I want, what do I want, how do I communicate it, what does my body like feeling, and even
Hmm.
like going on the emotions, like emotions may arise,
Hmm.
through
Mm.
the entire journey, but even through sexuality um, and pleasure
Hmm. Yeah.
that yeah, like enabling you to like sit in the space and allow the feelings and the
Mm.
emotions and the fear, and what is pleasure to me in my
Hmm.
body.
Mm. And
So
what is sex? What does sex mean? If
mm,
it's not this defined little thing and we open it up, it opens up so many different possibilities. Sex for me can mean dancing, ecstatically dancing and breathing. And I see you dance
mm,
in lots of your posts, and I think
yeah,
that's ecstatic. Like, you look free and
yeah, I love it.
delicious as you move. Yes. And I'm
Yeah,
thinking, oh, that's a woman who's enjoying her body,
yes,
in her body, in that moment.
yeah,
Um, yeah. Yes.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Thanks for weaving that in, and
Mm.
yeah, um, opening up ourselves up to, yeah, like a different way of being,
Yes.
and
And it's for
being
you,
able to
it's not for
explore, giving
somebody else.
ourselves permission to
Mhm.
explore that. Sorry, I cut you off.
Mm. Sorry, and it's for you. Like, as
Yes,
I said, midlife is about turning back to ourselves and asking ourselves, what do I really want? And
yes,
a sexuality can be that too. What do I really
mm,
want now? And sometimes we don't know, right? Because we haven't ever explored it before.
yeah,
But what a lovely opportunity. And
yes,
as we said, we grasp the opportunities to dare to live the life that we want to live. Like,
hmm,
that's part of that for me.
yeah,
Yeah. I love
yeah,
being in this body,
yes.
this changing, evolving body. Um, and I love the grief. Like, holding grief is beautiful. Like,
Yeah,
holding change is beautiful, and evolving into the next place and space.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I love that.
mm,
And that
mm,
for me too, like the trust piece as well. Like, for example, on Sunday, I'm like, right, I want to go and explore another part of the island because I'm in Sardinia. And then I took myself driving, and there was two spots 20 minutes apart. There was the beach and then there was the mountain. And because it was hot, I thought, oh, I'll go to the beach first, because originally I was going to do the mountain to give myself more time to hike. But I thought, no,
mm,
I'll go to the beach first. So I did that. And then I saw a boat trip that took me to a grotto. So I did
mm,
that. And then I finally got to the canyon at like 6 p.m. and which
mm.
was quite late, because I ended up walking back up the mountain at nighttime with my phone torch. But
Yes.
just listening, like, what's bringing me pleasure in this
Mm,
moment? Like, oh, I'd like to go to
mm,
the beach and go and get some sun and go for a swim. What's
mm.
bringing me pleasure now? I'd like to go and have an Italian ice cream. What's
Yes.
bringing me pleasure now? Actually, I'd like to go to the canyon when the sun's setting and it's cooler,
Mm,
and then I can hike down and walk back up when it's nice and cool. And then the gift in that was that I was the only person in this entire canyon, like this
mm,
massive canyon. There was like a little stream, a little waterfall that I got to duck my head under. And because
Mm,
Italians go, they head back at, 8 o'clock to eat, and all the tourists
mhm,
have gone and everything. I was the only person in this space. So, like,
mm,
being able to listen to myself and follow the pleasure, follow the joy,
mm.
follow what my body wants to do in this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been such a gift being here in Sardinia without
Mm,
all the noise and the distractions, and being
mhm,
able to listen, and
mm.
move from that space.
Yeah. And it sounds like an embodied erotic experience that you're just describing, right? You're
Mm,
following you're meandering, your body's deciding, and
yeah,
there's joy and pleasure and expansiveness in it. And yeah,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Mm,
And what
mm,
just popped in my consciousness too, just while I was speaking to that, is like there'll be women watching this is like, yeah, but I've still got all the kids and I still need the job. I still need to pay for my mortgage, or I've
mm,
got to work and I've got to work out, and like they're still the busy. So
yeah.
what can we share with these women? Like what other
Mm,
paradigm can we share with these women to help them slow down and start bringing some pleasure, start bringing some awareness
mm,
into the women that are busy, that are still really
mhm,
distracted or got a million
mm,
things going on. Like what can we weave into this to help
mhm,
slow them down a little bit?
mm. It's a really tricky one, isn't it? And I was speaking to one of my mentors and it's saying I feel depleted. Like I'm doing all the parent, I'm a single parent. I'm starting a business. I have a partner that lives long distance and I'm managing so many different things. And where's the time for my sexual self? Like I don't even feel like it. Like by the end of
Mm,
the day, there's like I don't want to do anything. Um, And that's coming from a sexologist, right? So we're not alone in this. Like we're not like just because I have all this knowledge doesn't mean that it's and she said something that really tweaked for me. She said, because I'm not ovulating as often, so I'm not getting that natural peak and high and juicy feeling. She said it's going to be a choice from now on. So what do you
mm,
choose? I'm like, oh, I'm pretty keen to choose having pleasure in my life to,
yeah,
yeah, in small ways. It's as I said, it's me sitting on the veranda on the front steps before my children get up for a few minutes and connecting with my breath and my genitals. And that
mm,
makes me feel sexual. It makes me feel like a sexually alive woman.
yes,
And it's 3 minutes a day. It's that. Like, it's when I go to bed, I hold my breasts and I just hold them. I hold the weight. I hold the texture. It's not an erotic thing, but it makes me feel in touch with my body.
yes,
Yeah, we don't
yeah,
have to be doing 2 hours of self-pleasuring practice
yeah,
every couple of days or once a week. Like it's not practical either. Like
yeah,
we're both living lives that are busy. We're in the busiest part of our lives. We just need to tune into our bodies
in
in
small
a
little
small way,
chunks. Yeah,
in
the
small
small little
little chunks.
ways.
Yeah, we don't need another thing added to our list of things to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. How do we weave it into our
We
everyday?
leave it in the most smallest ways, in the most joyous, smallest ways.
Yeah,
By slowing down and noticing what brings us joy. That walk was the slowing down and noticing what brings you joy. And when you're able to be that slow, your body talks to you and
yeah,
tells you what it wants, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
for me, it's making a choice and being curious. Those two things are serving me well as I move in my perimenopause journey, and my libido isn't what it was. It's much, much lower.
yeah,
And knowing my body needs something to respond to. So spontaneous desire in my body is lessening, and I
yes,
need something to respond to. So I have to put those things in. And it might be like it might be having a really conscious shower and
yes,
consciously touching my body. It might
mm,
be reading something that feels really erotic for me that spikes something. It's my
yes,
partner giving me a massage. Something has to happen for
yeah,
me to feel desire now. And I
yeah,
think if we're waiting for spontaneous desire or this amazing rush of hormones and someone to pick us up and slam us against the wall it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? So it's about making a choice and getting curious. For me,
yeah,
those two things. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Does that
yeah,
mm,
yeah. I love it.
more
Yeah.
thing? Mhm. Mm.
Mm.
Thank you, Mara.
Yeah, thanks so much, Lisa. What a great
Mm,
conversation. I got so much
mm,
out of it, even just for me.
mm,
Yeah, that was
mm,
amazing. Um,
mm,
so how can people find you? Are you online or are you more face to
mm,
face?
mm.
Tell us a little bit more about your
Yeah.
business and
Hmm.
yeah, more information. And
Yeah.
I'll drop all the
Sure.
information into the podcast as well.
Mhm. So my website is lisaj.com.au. So you can find me there and look at the offerings and one-on-one sessions that I offer, and also group workshops. So I'm
Yeah.
running a series of workshops about midlife and pleasure in August, September, and October. And same on Instagram and Facebook. It's Lisa Johnson. Yeah,
Mm.
you can find me there.
Yeah,
Mm,
amazing.
yeah.
Thank you so much. What a delicious first podcast.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Like, you know, first one and where we've gone, and I'm like, okay, this is setting the scene, and it just makes me more excited. Like I'm just
Mm,
so excited to be talking to women
yeah,
and
yeah.
sharing their life stories and their
Mm,
wisdom as well, whether they're working with women or not. Like we just women have so much. I mean, we all have wisdom. Even the men have wisdom as well.
yeah.
Yeah, just to have
Thank you for the opportunity. This has been
yeah to have
fabulous.
these
And I
juicy
can't wait to
conversations.
listen to who
Yeah,
else you have on and their stories and their journeys. And
yeah.
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm sending you so much love and your
Mm,
continued journey through midlife and your, you know, your work in the world and everything. And
thank
yeah, we'll
you.
be in touch.
Lovely. Thanks, Mara.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Sending you so much
Bye-bye.
love, sweetheart. Okay. See you, darling.
Bye-bye.